Hey guys, Brandon Lewis here. I'm going to bring you the 7 biggest stories that conservatives really care about from the Tennessee Conservative News, and I'm going to do it while walking around the woods in my house. First story, Tennessee bill preventing government overreach during states of emergency move forwards in House. This bill, brought by lawmakers by the Tennessee Freedom Initiative, would protect the constitutional rights of Tennesseans by prohibiting RINO governors like Bill Lee, my words not the articles, from suspending any part of the Tennessee Constitution via an issuance of emergency, meaning he can't shut down mom and pops and let his buddies in the big boxes stay open, shut down places of worship, tell folks that they're non-essential, all that kind of stuff. House Bill 324, sponsored by Representative Rusty Grills, was passed 15-4 in the House State and Local Government Committee on Wednesday afternoon. Only Democrats voted against the bill. And it's funny because this bill has essentially been brought for 4.5 years, and it took getting Bill Lee in a lame duck situation for Republicans to have the courage to do this. They should have done it during the pandemic, but, if you don't have real strong constitutional moorings, you'll fall for anything. Another bill that would ensure that Tennesseans with a lawful occupation or means of livelihood would not be categorized as non-essential during future states of emergency was previously done in the name of COVID-19. The legislation also allows Tennesseans to bring suit against a state or local public official if they are declared non-essential. And this is House Bill 562, sponsored by Representative Monty Fritz. And so it passed the Public Service Subcommittee by a vote of 5-1 on Wednesday morning. Only Democrat Representative Gabby Salinas voted against it. I guess she thinks that many of you are probably non-essential. Continuing on, legislation that could save county residents from footing the bill for city development fails in the House subcommittee in a very strange way. Basically, this bill said that county residents should not have to cover the cost of city developments. It failed in the Cities and Counties Subcommittee of the Local Government Committee on Wednesday. House Bill 0365, sponsored by State Representative Monty Fritz, only had one vote in its favor, coming from State Representative Ed Butler. It prohibits a municipality or an instrumentality of a municipality from taking actions. Basically, you build some big, huge thing that people in the county don't want. You can't charge them. Hold on a second. We got folks driving down the road here. You can't charge them and put a tax burden on them. And the thing that was interesting to me is that this bill, Republicans voting against the bill were State Representative John Crawford, Jerome Moon, and Dave Wright. I don't understand why this thing failed. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anytime you see John Crawford voting for something and Dave Wright's voting record's not much better, it's probably been killed by rhinos. Next story, constitutional amendment giving Tennesseans right to refuse vaccines and other medical treatments advances in the House. A resolution that aims to amend the Constitution to explicitly provide for medical freedom passed the Health Subcommittee after a 14-7 vote, mostly along party lines. While all 5 Democrats committee members voted no, they were joined by 2 Republicans, John Gillespie, RINO, Tom Leatherwood, RINO. Another Republican, Representative Ron Travis, chose not to vote at all. That's what we call the coward's way out. I think in the RINO report, Jason, this year, we should give an award to the biggest cowards. Who in this session did present but not voting, or could have voted but didn't. Because I think that's important for folks to know, that when folks don't even have enough conviction as elected representatives to cast a ballot. So it's good to see that thing moves forward. It's sponsored by Representative Gino Bulso, who's just done a fantastic job this session. And it states a person must not be compelled to undergo medical treatment, even in the case of a declared state of emergency. So we're excited to see that thing move forward. That is exciting. Guys, if you appreciate what we do here at the Tennessee Conservative, this thing does not run on unicorn farts. It runs off contributions, small little contributions, some big contributions from very generous donors, but we can't do it without you. We don't have massively large expenses, but our overhead is up this year. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I think we may be 5 or 6% up. We were 33% down when we started the year, but thanks to the generosity of folks like you, we're back on track. So go to TennesseeConservativeNews.com/support, hit that support button, and if you donate $50 or more, or a recurring donation of $10 or more per month, we will send you a proud Tennessee Conservative tumbler, a koozie, and a list of your elected officials. Okay, let's move on. State committee stalls bill to expand citizen input at public meetings. Why would Republicans want you to have public input? I can't imagine why. So SB 0178 has been stalled in the state and local government committee by an unusual vote. There were 3 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 6 passes. So 6 people decided they weren't going to vote at all. How does this happen? It is so curious. Sponsored by Senator Adam Lowe, the legislation seeks to remedy the agenda item loophole. Basically, it's where these crappy county commissions, school boards say, hey, you can't even talk if it's not on the agenda. So they could be burning a public building down, but if they don't put it on the agenda, you can't talk about it, which makes no damn sense. In the committee, Lowe presented an amendment clarifying that the local governing body includes a city, town, or county. Briggs was surprised there were no questions on the amendment, thought it would be more controversial. There were no questions. Members voting yes were Republicans Gardenhire, Lowe, and Roberts. Republicans passing on the vote were Senator Briggs, who's a Democrat, basically, Hatcher, Wally, and other Democrats. So as the majority of the members passed, that means no action was taken, so it's now just sitting in the committee. That's embarrassing. That's not just fumbling the ball and letting it sit there. But it's kind of what you expect from many of these folks in the legislature. Resolution urging Congress. Man, we're just getting all kinds of noise. Who thought if I came out here that there would be garbage trucks and apparently Apache helicopters? If I disappear or if I get killed in a smart bomb strike, you'll know that the man is looking for me. Moving along, resolution urging Congress to provide benefits to service members for COVID-19 vaccine injuries passes in the Tennessee House. Representative Fritz noted the resolution was filed to encourage Congress and the Department of Veterans Affairs to provide benefits under the PACT Act to soldiers that were given those shots at different times in their service career and sustained injuries from forced vaccinations. So I think that is a great bill. We should have never allowed it. Bill Lee was fine to force guardsmen to take the shot. Terrible, cowardly, unethical in my opinion. And then further, he wanted to make sure that the corporations and all that stuff could have their way for a long time. And he wouldn't even give federal workers or medical workers their freedom on this. So it's good to see Bill Lee hitting the road. Hopefully we don't see him ever come back in public service because he was a disaster as a governor. 2 Tennessee bills preventing government overreach during states of emergency move forward in the House. So a bill brought by lawmakers by the Tennessee Freedom Initiative would protect the constitutional rights of Tennessee. What? I think I've read this already. So I'm done. I'm done, guys. I know this is a little bit slapdash, but we're done the Big 7 now. It actually might have just been the Big 6. So during the winter, I get worked like a rented mule, and I do all this stuff as a volunteer. And so today, I just kind of mailed it in. Okay, I didn't prep very well. I wanted to walk around out in the woods, and so I chose to do it. But most of the real big bills, the things that you really need to follow that are hot and heavy, I talked about with Yaffe. So if you want to tune in to that podcast or that video, and that was earlier in the week, I think yesterday. And I also had a very lengthy conversation with Jody Barrett, who stopped by the house last night. Enjoyed seeing him. He's a true conservative, not afraid to stand up for his constituents or the Constitution. So we talked about some recent votes on illegal immigration in depth. And so after doing 2 this week, the thought of doing the 3rd with my typical vim and vigor, it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. I'm falling down on the job here, people. What's going on this weekend? Well, I'm about to make a tuna salad sandwich, which I know you're really excited about. I'm the only person in my my family that likes tuna. I don't know why. I think it's okay. It does, you know, the smell is a little bit, you know, I guess some people don't like it. I think it smells like a delicious sandwich. But nonetheless, I'm going to do that, go to the gym early today. I normally don't do that, but I'm playing a little hooky after a very difficult, tough, and never-ending winter. So I'm going to do that. I got some friends coming over tonight for dinner, dear friends. We're going to hang out for a little while, and then tomorrow we got a big birthday party for my oldest. It's turning 13. Oh my goodness. Got me a teenager now. And then, so we're having the all-girl birthday party tomorrow. And then we're having the family birthday party with the extended Fincher family on Sunday. So we take birthdays very seriously in this family, and the reveling just goes on and on. So that's what's going on with me, guys. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and that everything's well with you and yours. And I will check in with you next time for the 10 Con Big 7 to talk about stories that conservatives care about, that mainstream media outlets won't ever tell you. Love you, mean it. See you next week.